name is Tupac Martir, and I'm presenting a show called Cosmos Within Us, in which we are trying to blend the idea of live performance with virtual reality and an audience. So this idea of almost like a theatrical virtual reality experience for the rest of the world. One of the most important things that happens in VR is what we call the onboarding, the moment in which you bring people into the space because they need to be safe. Rita was lucky enough to be part of the show. And how was your experience when we were boarding you?
Hi, Tupac. Yeah, I was lucky enough because I think the experience of being on stage with the glasses is totally different from the experience of who is watching. So the onboarding was very important, I think, for the experience. Before the actual onboarding, when I was waiting with you and your team in the room, I must admit, quite nervous because I wanted to know as much as possible about what was going to happen. And you carefully didn't.
We don't like to tell anybody what's going on. It's every single person who's going in always wants to know, and we try to keep it as little as possible. It's always funny though, because when we do the show, sometimes we do so many shows in a row that I never get have a chance to speak with people that have gone through the entire experience. So it's quite nice to hear what you thought of the whole thing.
Yeah, so it's interesting that you don't say anything because I think I was nervous but also very excited with the experience. And then when you go on stage and part of the team goes on stage, and I stayed with the two performers, the two dancers, and they started explaining me very calm, what was going to happen. And then I don't need to be afraid because I'm not going to fall. They explained me there's a carpet, and I was barefoot, so I could feel the carpet. And I think that's also very nice because you are barefoot on a carpet, so you feel comfortable, right? That's the definition of comfort.
Exactly. I mean, it's something that we all do at home. When you're at home, you're in your carpet, and it gives you a cozy feeling that you are actually somewhere, that you're not in a stage. Did you have a clue that there were like over 250 people watching you do this thing?
No, I didn't, because when I'm on stage, I'm already with the glasses, so I don't even know where the audience is. I don't know if they're on my left side, right side. I have no idea. I know there's people there. I know that you were there, but I don't know where you were. So yeah, but the onboarding was important because then I could be like, I was free walking around, and I knew if I'm on the carpet, I'll be okay. I won't fall. So yeah, that was very important.
It's really funny because when you're moving around, obviously the two shadow dancers have these fans in their hands, and so every time you kind of stepped out, they will go in and just kind of like lightly touch you, because that's another thing. We knew that touching somebody is bad because it breaks the experience, and so having the fans is such a light touch that you don't really like feel that you're being actually held. You know what I mean?
But I feel comfortable.
Exactly.
It's safe. When you feel the fan, it's safe, but it doesn't break the experience. Exactly.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we played a lot with all these kinds of things. We spent a lot of time trying to figure out what was the best way of doing it. The fans actually came because I wanted to put wind on the dragon. This is the whole reason why the fans exist at the beginning. And then we brought them in to do like different parts of the wind and obviously the breeze and all these things. But that was like the main reason for the fans was actually to do the wind of the dragon when it's coming in.
The dragon is just unbelievable. So I see a dragon, I see fire, and then I feel the heat. So I think I actually jumped or something. But I think people noticed that I was scared because it's so immersive. It's much more than the virtual experience. It's all about the hybrid. So those combinations that you're able to make. And when I see the dragon, I feel the heat. It's a real experience. It's not just, I'm not just seeing a dragon on a movie. I'm feeling the heat of the fire of the dragon. So it's really immersive.
Which is interesting, isn't it? I mean, for us, we spent 4 months working with a nose to get all the smells correct. Because it's known that smell is actually the quickest and fastest way of getting to your memories. And most people that I've gotten a chance to say or to speak to is when you go into that first scene and it's all dark and moldy and old and you smell the water and you smell the mold, it just kind of takes you immediately, and it kind
You
of
are there.
Yeah.
You are there. And the smell for me, the most impactful one was the perfume of the grandmother. So you see the grandmother, I have even the cookies, but then she's getting closer to me, and I feel the perfume, and it's the perfume that every grandmother uses. So that was so intense. It's really like I have someone there, and I'm a child. I'm eating cookies that my grandmother is giving to me. So yeah, the smell is very important for the immersive experience. Absolutely.
That scene is really interesting because we combine so many different things. So there's the smell of the grandmother, obviously. There's also the point of view that you have that is lower to the one that you have now as an adult. So immediately makes you feel like a child. There's the whole idea of the touch, and then obviously when we give you a juice box and cookies, like we always say, like there's no other time in your life that you will have a juice box and cookies. That when it happens, as a child. Actually, the first smell that you get is of bubblegum, because apparently that's what childhood smells like. So all those kinds of little things go and play in the background of what you're experiencing. But how was getting the juice and the cookies?
At first I was seeing a cookie, but I was thinking, okay, I'm not actually going to grab a cookie. But then I did, and I'm like, should I eat the cookie? But I did. And I think even the type of cookie that you choose, it's our childhood, right? It's a chocolate chip cookie. So I have the perfume of the grandmother. I'm feeling so small comparing to her. So you really recreate an experience, a moment. It's like it was my life 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, it's we spent because obviously it's one of the funniest things about it, or one of the interesting things about it is because all your life you've been told that you cannot touch what's on screen, and so the moment that you're actually able to do it, we're actually creating new connections between your frontal brain and your back of your brain, because we're actually creating new things. And then we give you the bracelet. Well, the grandmother gives you the bracelet, and that's actually an NLP type of technique to anchor you to that moment. So every time that you see the bracelet, your brain will remember that first time that you had this new experience, which is really cool.
I still have that bracelet, by the way.
Good. Actually, that bracelet is made by my roots. So my dad's indigenous, and so the tribe, actually the community, actually makes those bracelets for us to put into Cosmos. And so it's a really nice thing, because it's like their artwork is being shipped all over the world by people doing this different experience at different places. It's really nice.
That's nice. So you have part of your background also included in the show.
Yeah. We always have some sort of weird element that has to be from my background going into the show, and it's I think that's like the nice way of doing it. It's not in your face, because we actually wrote that idea of the bracelet into it, but it's it's a nice way of bringing it into the system.
But it's nice because you create all the parts of the show, the family, the characters. I'm sure that they're based on something that you took a long time to put together, but at the same time they are so simple that everyone can relate to it. That's what I was feeling. I can relate to this family. I can relate to the characters. I can relate to the conversation. I can relate with the cookies. So yeah, it was really a very, very nice experience, Tupac. And I'm curious, what's next? What's your plan? Are you planning something different?
So we're hoping to actually take this show on the road. So we're hoping to do a tour. We before pandemic, we had already signed 25 different weeks of work. But obviously now we're looking at taking them out again, and we're actually premiering our new show on the 25th of February in London, which, as is described in the studio, is Cosmos on steroids, because we're doing so much more than what we're doing at the moment. We learned so much through Cosmos that now we're gonna experiencing what we're going to more realities. So in Cosmos you have virtual reality and the physical reality. So and that, you know, what the audience is watching. And now we're moving into multiple realities. So yeah, it's going to be a scary, but you know, we're in the middle of R&D. We're starting to work on other bits and pieces. So yeah, it's not long to go before the 25th of Feb, but you know, we'll get there.
I'm looking forward. And I know that your work, the type of work you do is very much related to healthcare, and that you are exploring that more and more. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, currently me and Claude Bogard, we're currently the resident artist at Champalimaud, which is super nice. You know, we're getting to work with different neuroscience teams. We're working with different teams that deal with cancer, and you know, with the psychological elements of it, and kind of this exploration of how art, science, and technology can all meet together to tell stories. So it's quite nice that, you know, the many of the people at Champalimaud came to see the show, and now we're having conversations about, well, why did you do that? And how did you do that element? Because they want to know so they can put it into their experiments. And then here I am going, well, how do you do that? Because I really want to use that for one of our pieces. And so, you know, this kind of crossword collaboration is becoming quite a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's interesting how you combine healthcare, technology, and arts for the same project. So
yeah, I think, tell you what's really interesting. One of the things that we're doing right now is based massively on what we do in entertainment and what we do in shows, and kind of looking at those elements of technology. And funny enough, it's not a commercial, but actually we have a lot of Microsoft stuff in it between HoloLens and Azures and things like that are allowing us to process the information and the data a lot quicker, so we can make informed decisions. So it's quite a, you know, that the amount of firepower and machine power that we need right now to do these things is really interesting, in how much they're getting into what we're doing, you know.
That's amazing. I'm really looking forward for your next show. And I hope that the next one in Portugal, I can be the one again wearing the glasses on stage.
The next one doesn't have glasses on stage technically, but it does have not technically, but yes, it does. It just doesn't have it's just not just on stage. Let's put it like that.
Okay, I'm even more curious. Great, Tupac. Thank you very much. It was a very nice experience.
I'm very glad you're happy. Great. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
My home. I used to play here. There was a table and a bookshelf and a chair there by the window. That's where my father would always sit. My bedroom was upstairs, and there were people here. There were people here because it was my birthday. No, it wasn't my birthday. It was, that's me. And she's Lily. That's my sister, Lily. It was her birthday. They, the people that come to our house, and I can't remember. I can't remember what happened. There was something wrong. Please don't. Not now. Hang on a moment. Wait. Is this all I was? A brother that failed his sister. I was completely alone, empty, numb. When you're grieving, everything is blank and grey, meaningless. Until I reached a point where I realized that I didn't feel anything at all. Make it stop. Make it stop, please. Let me go. I don't want to remember. Let me go. Make this end. night, I remember. Oh God, I remember. I'm a fool. I was only 12 years old, but I understood what she meant. She was saying that we do not disappear. Nothing does, not entirely. And although Lily no longer existed in a physical form, I was already carrying all of my memories of her with me. Playing in the forest, at the pool, holidaying in the summer house, all of it held in the library of my mind. And when I realized that, it set me free. I could live. My story does not end here, because no story ever